ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यम् ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना. Acts of sacrifice, let us remember, will mean sacrifice of doership. So any act of sacrifice must be done with sacrificing the doership itself. I have sacrificed is no sacrifice, right? What have I sacrificed? When I say I sacrificed, so many people will say, women, I sacrificed so much for your family. Or somebody will say, I sacrificed for so much for you. The son has grown up like that. Earlier it was like this. So sacrifice. The child has grown up. Now he is a tall, handsome fellow. I sacrificed so much for you, and you can't even look after me at my old age. What did you sacrifice, Mom? He will say. Like the children of this Ratnakar also told him, no, it is your duty. Simple as that. So she said, oh, here though nothing good will come out. So she then went to the husband. I sacrificed so much for your family. He said, what? He also remained oblivious of it. Then she said, let me go to ailing parents-in-law. She herself has grown old, but the parents-in-law are also there, quite old. Nowadays, medicines are working wonders, no? You grow old, but your parents-in-law are also there. So then she went. I sacrificed so much for both of you, mother, father. Oh, that was your duty. Again, there also she failed. So where will she go? Why? Where can she go? She is unable to sacrifice this doership. Then she came to God. Nowhere if you find peace, there is one place. When person becomes pieces, he goes to find peace. When he is intact, he won't come here. When one limb gone, one eye cannot see properly, can't hear properly, can't even speak properly, then comes. Okay. Now here she can't say that I sacrificed. To him, nothing. So she will say, I sacrificed so much for them, oh God, and they are not paying it back. So there came the voice from God. Did you sacrifice? Then she thought, oh yes, no point telling God about my family. It's not good. Let me talk to God only about him. So she'll say, I sacrificed my family for you. Oh God. God will say, oh my God, did you? What did you sacrifice? I told you to sacrifice this I. Did you sacrifice that? Oh, is that so? But you haven't sacrificed, because all through Bhagavad Gita you keep telling that come to me, I am the one at my feet only, give away your mind to me, I will take care of you. And you are asking me to sacrifice I? So let us understand the whole picture properly. This I, the Lord, Sri Krishna, is that I in whom I will have to sacrifice this I, which I am carrying now, is this egocentric, conditioned I-ness. Let me sacrifice this. And this itself indicates that I won't be the loser, because ultimately it's going to be that I only know. So what is the worry then? If I have to give up this eye, and if I get that eye, then there's nothing wrong. So, at the feet of Lord, let us think properly. When this thought comes, then this person wants to give up this eye. What to do? Okay, if not anything else, at least we eat several times in a day. And fortunately, nobody is going to say no to that. Suppose you want to worship a particular god, then people will pounce on you. In the family, they might say, why this god? This. Suppose I tell you, you worship Shukracharya. So people say, why Shukracharya? We are not Daityas. Okay. You worship Mahalakshmi. Why? What's not in our house? We are already so wealthy. Why should we worship Mahalakshmi? I have strength of my what is that? I've got arms. Strength of my arms. I can earn. I don't need to worship Mahalakshmi. Okay. Do you eat? Oh yes. Worship at that time. I have earned and I am eating. Why should I worship? Because that divine is sitting in your stomach and doing your job. What is that? Vaishwanara. Jatharagni, which is the heat in your stomach, the fire in your stomach. Oh, I thought I have got only fire in my head. People say that. No, first you have fire in your stomach, then only you can have anything else. No. The day this fire is going to cool down, all the activities will come to an end. So this fire in your stomach, you are offering oblation in the form of whatever you put in your mouth. So don't put pan parag in your mouth. Not a good oblation. What you need to put also needs to be pure, fresh, nice, worth offering, no? Just look at that. Brahmarpanam, Brahma Havihi, Brahmagnau, Brahmanahutam. What is that? Brahmarpanam. The oblation is Brahman. This is the highest philosophy. This is the highest thought possible in one's life. Okay? Brahma Havihi. What is that? The oblation is Brahman Arpanam. Havihi, the clarified butter, Havish, that which we pour so that the fire remains inflamed, that is also Brahman. Brahma Agnau, the fire is also Brahman. Brahmana Hutam, the Huta, the one who is offering is also Brahman. Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam, the one who is offering with this attitude will go where? Will reach where? To Brahman only. Brahma Karma Samadhina, by the man who is absorbed in action which is Brahman. This act itself is Brahman. Therefore, the man who is offering in this manner is going to reach Brahman. A fantastic picture of any yajna for that matter. This is the subtlest possible explanation of yajna karma. Okay? Sacrificial act. Where there is no sense of differences, there is oneness altogether. The fire is also Brahman. And the clarified butter that we put into the fire as a fuel is also Brahman. And the samagri, the oblation that we put in is also Brahman. And the one who's putting is also Brahman. Brahman has been invoked. The invocation without which we don't kindle the fire. He is also Brahman. When the whole act is full of Brahman, then definitely the doer is going to reach Brahman. Why? Because there is no thought of doership. Who is the doer? Brahman, no. Not I. Done. That is sacrifice. How do I practice it? If not kindling a separate fire, the fire is already there all the time, 24 hours, available to you wherever you go, without visa. It is available to you. No separate items are required. Anyway, you will need to eat and drink something. Whatever you put into your mouth, put it as an oblation. Put it on right time. Don't starve this Vaishvanar. Don't keep him waiting. Let not the fuel reduce to the extent that it is about to extinguish. Let not Vaishvanar get overfueled. So eat to the extent which is important for it to remain kindled. Such a beautiful thing to happen. But then when food comes in front of me, I forget about Brahman, because nothing but the taste comes in front of me. That is also Brahman, no. The oblation. This is going to become the oblation and the clarified butter, all put together. So, at that time, if the thought comes, oh, this food is nothing but Brahman only. If you remember that cycle, Tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yagne pratishtitam. Annad bhavanti bhutani. In every act of sacrifice, the presence of Brahman is there. Why? Because if the presence of Brahman is not there, then it is no sacrifice at all. Either there will be I, the ego, or it will be I, the Brahman. Which one? If it is I, the ego, it is no sacrifice. If it is I, the Brahman, then any act is sacrifice only. But this thought will be established in you and me only if it is taken in at the time of eating food. Why? Because food is nourishing me. I get nourishment from food. So right from food onwards, I have to nourish my thought process with the thought of Brahman in this way. Therefore, this particular shloka is to be chanted at least before big meals. What are the big meals? Oh, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Is that so? Nowadays, to remain thin, slim, people skip one of those. Don't skip. Eat little, but offer definitely. How much prasad are you supposed to eat? Suppose you offered laddus as naivedyam. Then they became prasad. So how many laddus will you eat? As many as you want, because they are laddus. But how much prasad will you eat? Little bit, no? Even if you get one full laddu, you will again distribute it to your loved ones, little by little. Suppose it was laddus. Who cares? You'll put it in the mouth. And maybe you'll buy more if you wish to. You will buy more. Can you buy prasad? Prasad you will have to get. And that which you get as prasad, you would like to share it with your loved ones. All this is involved when you eat. So we can't eat like hogs. We can't deprive ourselves of eating. Why? Because Vaishvanar will be deprived. Little by little, time to time. 2 big meals, 2 or 3, whatever. Intermittent snacks also. When you eat, you can have similar thought at least. And how much time anyway it takes to chant this? Oh, that is the problem, Mataji. This chanting itself is a problem. How will we remember? Oh, how many shlokas do you have to remember? Have I told you to remember 700? One, only one. And in this one, there is a beauty. Most of the words are Brahma, Brahma, Brahma. So Brahma anyway you remember. So hardly a few words you will have to remember. What are the few words? Arpanam, Havihi, Agnau, Hutam, Tena Gantavyam, Karma Samadhina. Some 5-7 words. Remember them. Remember them and remember to chant before putting the morsel in your mouth. Most of the time, initially, what will happen? After taking 2-3 morsels, you'll suddenly remember. And the best part is, at that moment, you'll say, okay, now next meal. Don't do that. Stop there. It doesn't matter. Brahman is not going to pounce on your head that why didn't you chant before? So chant it then. At least put that down or gulp it down and chant. Better late than never. If you don't chant it then the next meal again the same thing is going to happen. So this beautiful idea of Brahman being the reality, which is the very substratum of the seemingly real world, which has been imposed by ourselves due to our own delusion, will be totally eradicated and eliminated by constantly focusing on this shloka, which indicates that every act of sacrifice is establishing Brahman. But this is a very subtle way of sacrificing. It could be that we start with it and it becomes a habit, as most of the things have become. By habit, we'll say, Om Brahma Arpanam Brahma. Let it not become a habit. Do it as a practice to have the right impact. Otherwise, of course, you will complete that shloka for sure, but it won't have any impact. Again, you are looking at the food, again you are looking at less or more, this or that, etc., etc. Just go through it as it comes by focusing on the divine which you have invoked to sacrifice the doership itself. That is the focal point. Now, Bhagavan is explaining several types of yajnas possible in our day-to-day life, interaction with the world itself. Not that I have to take out separate time to practice this specially, like food, anyway we eat. So it happens along with our day-to-day routine. So also, so many other types.